Hello everyone, you're welcome to another video. In this video I'm going to be showing you how to properly thread your industrial sewing machine. We'll talk about threading the bobbin, threading the sewing machine. You're very much welcome to Kema Freak. My name is Kemi Omorogbe. Let's do this. This particular industrial sewing machine is the 2-Lion TL9900D. It is a direct drive sewing machine and it has its entire complex for threading the bobbin at the top, as opposed to some of the servo motor type of industrial sewing machine where you have it at the side of the machine. Now this is the type of bobbin that this uses. This is what came with the sewing machine. Make sure that you're using a good thread when working with your industrial sewing machine. I'll be making use of this particular brown thread. I feel you may be able to see it better. So right here we have this stand here that kind of guides the thread. Like I said, we are starting with threading the bobbin. So I'm just going to position my thread right here. And we're going to insert it into this part of the rod. So first I'm putting my thread through the hole right here. I like to move this around so I can see properly. That's why it is mobile. So once I have my thread through that, I don't know if you can see this thread properly. Okay, I think you can try to see it properly. So having done that, I move on to the top of the machine. First, I'll be putting the thread through this disc. So there are two holes. I'll put it first in the one closest to the back and take it in between the two discs here, then insert it into the second root or the second port for thread. Here, make sure that your thread passes in between the two discs. Once that is done, you're almost done with threading the bobbin. So here's my bobbin right here. We have some thread on it, but we're just still going to make use of this. I just want to put this around my new thread. Then position it right here. So once that is done, I put this bar right here. So it will sit in between the top and the bottom of the bobbin. Then you go ahead to pedal. So just put your foot on the pedal and let it gradually do its thing. You can decide to increase the speed of the sewing machine if you want this to be faster, but currently we are working with, I think, 800 or 900. So ideally, this should snap back once the thread is, done, but I'm not sure why this is not happening that way. But you can go ahead and, stop your threading. And this part is actually a razor blade and can just help you, cut your thread. So you don't have to remove this entire complex and rethread everything once you want to thread your bobbin. You can just leave this thread dangling so that subsequently if you want to thread a bobbin, you can make use of this. Like I said, this is a razor blade. It can just help you cut this, and it also kind of supports the thread when it's just lying in. I will just remove this and we have our bobbin threaded. Now we have our bobbin threaded and I'm going to show you how to fix it onto the sewing machine. So first, I like to work from below my sewing machine. Once you're used to it, you may not have to see what is happening before you can pull out your bobbin case. Now let's pull out the bobbin case. So start by putting your hand underneath here to pull out the needle plate. This side of the needle plate right here. So I'm just going to support it with my hand and open it up. Down here I can already see the bobbin case right here. All you need to do is pull out a lever on top of the bobbin case and it just allows you pull it out like so. For clarity purpose, this is the lever you need to pull up and then you drag it out of the holder right there. You seen this? Yeah, let's try that again. This is in the sewing machine. You pull up the lever and pull out your bobbin. To fix the bobbin into the bobbin case, you just insert it into the case like so. Then take your thread through a groove near this screw. We have a groove here, so let your thread go inside the groove. And once we have this thread inside the case like so, take your thread and insert it into the groove right here. There's just a tiny groove right here, so insert your thread into that groove like so, then take it through the front. There's a kind of hook right here where you hook your thread. I just hope this is clear enough, honestly, but let's do it all over again. Take it through the groove, anchor it on the hook right here. Are you seeing that? Once that is done, the same way you pulled out the bobbin case is the same way you insert it back. So raise this control right here and put your hand under the machine just to insert it into the holder right there and release the bar. Okay, now you can close this up. Next, we are moving on to threading the machine itself. We're going to be making use of this thread right here. So I will start once again by inserting it into the holder right here, and then I'll take it through this hole right here. And you want to make sure that this is actually well positioned. You don't need any of the parts we used for the bobbin when we're threading the bobbin, but we have right here a root, another root. So I'm going to take it through the 3 holes we have on this. If you can see this properly, there are 3 holes on here. So first I'm taking it through the first one and pulling out the thread. You take it through the second one towards the right hand side of the machine, and then you pull it out again through the third one towards the left hand side of the machine. So this is our thread. We are back to the front of the machine. So there's a disc right here, double disc, that kind of holds the thread. It is not a tension dial like this one, so it is relatively free. And there are 2 ports here for threads. So I'm going to pass it through the first one, the one at the top, and take my thread through in between the 2 discs. Once we have it right there, I'm going to insert my thread into the second. So there we have it. Next, there is a port right here for the thread. Just pass it through it. So from here, you're going to pass your thread in between the tension disc and hang it on this holder. Okay, it has a kind of holder right there. So let's do that again in case you didn't see it properly. You're passing it from this point in between the 2 tension discs right there and hooking it on this holder. There's a small holder right there. Yeah. So once that is done, you're passing it underneath this iron bar right here, bringing it up and hanging it onto this hook. So once you're done with this complex right here, you're going to insert your thread into this lever. This lever goes up and down when you're sewing. So are you seeing? This is the lever I'm talking about. This one that keeps moving every time your machine is on the go. Now, having done that, we have our thread right here. I'm just going to put it onto these 2 hooks. 1, 2. Let's do that again. Hook 1, hook 2. Next, our thread will be going through this hook. So I'm going to just roll it in 1, 2. Let's do that again. We're having our thread go in 1, 2. So you have your thread this way. Then you go ahead and insert it into another hole just above the needle right here, just to guide the thread and to make sure that your stitches come out really nicely. So from here, you can then insert it into your needle from left to right. We are almost done with this. Once your thread is out through the sewing machine, hold this thread but loosely, okay? Don't tighten your hold on it, no. Just hold it but loosely, okay? Then control your hand wheel to insert the needle into the machine so that you can go pull out the thread on the bobbin. Once your needle is out, you can then gradually pull out the thread. So it's going to come up with the thread in the bobbin case. So you have two threads, one from the bobbin case and one from the machine itself. So just pass your thread in between your foot backward and you can begin to sew. On this machine, if you want your needle to just go in and out at once, so there's a control right here where you can do that. Just listen that. That will be all for this video. I hope you have found this video insightful. If you have any question, please drop it in the comment section. And if there are other topics you want to suggest I explore, I very much welcome suggestion from you guys. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Kemi Omorugbe. See you in the next video. Bye.